Raju, disable your video.
So good morning, all of you. Is my voice audible to all of you?
Yes, audible.
Yeah, right. Thank you. And very good morning, all of you. And my screen is visible?
Yes, it is visible to us.
Yeah, right.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, right. Very good morning to all the participants. And so welcome to Quality Thought Full Stack Academy. Today, we are going to develop a web API using nodejs with expressjs. And that web API performs some database operations. And finally, after the completion of the development of this web API, they are tested. They are tested by using Postman. So now, and see, we are designed this workshop completely by considering the freshers to the professionals. So in the participants, please let me know. Okay, how many members are there? Okay, even they don't know the basics of internet and web or web applications. Please, may I know how many members are there? I mean that. Even they don't know the basics of. Yeah, Vijay. Right. Thank you, Vijay. Yeah. Next. How many? Right. All of you, Vijay, Ajay, Ankit, Arun. You are all aware about the basics?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, right. Okay, right. That's fine. So now, see, anyway, to cover everyone, I mean that those who don't know the basics, even for them also to make this web API development understandable up to some extent. Okay, I divided this entire workshop into two parts. One is today's first day and tomorrow the next day, and it is daily 2 hours from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. And here the topics abstractively are web application basics, and next nodejs web API development, next consuming that web API using Postman. So these are the three basics, 3 steps. I mean that, sorry, 3 steps. Now today, first, I'm taking 30 minutes of time to cover the basics which are useful to understand the behavior of a web application. See, if you want to become a good developer, yes, recordings are provided. If you want to become a good developer, first you need to understand the behavior of the application. That is very, very important. So how, see, you are going to develop web API. Web API means it is nothing but web application which runs at server side. I will explain about the web API later in the next coming, within few minutes, I'm going to explore about the web API. But before that, suppose you don't know anything about the web application, about the internet. Okay, then you should need, yes, participation certificate is provided. So here, what is meant by web, and what is meant by web client and web server, and what is meant by HTTP, request response endpoint. These are all very important basics. You should understand. Every developer should know about these basics. Don't think that these are normal points. Very, very important points, especially development point of view. They plays very crucial role. So that's why first I'm going to demonstrate. I want to explain these points developer point of view. Remember that, developer point of view. Now, anyone tell me what is meant by web? What is meant by web? Anyone tell me? What is meant by web? Anyone? See, in your interpretation point of view, it may be different. No problem at all. It is a platform to search something. Yes. Collection of websites. Yes. Good. Okay. Next. Anyone tell me what is meant by web? Application. Okay. Good. Next. User interaction application. Yes. Okay, fine. So to see, the time is limited, so that's why. See, thanks for responding, because see, whether you said exactly true or not, that's not the matter. But you responded. That is a very good gesture. So I appreciate all of you, those who responded. Thanks for responding. Now, what is meant by web? Web is nothing but a space which is under the control of a web server. Remember that. Web is a space which is under the control of a web server. That is the exact appropriate statement. Okay, very meaningful statement. Web is nothing but a space, simply, no doubt. Okay. Now, so before about exploration about this web client and web server, first, this web is a space under the control of web server. Okay, but web server, that is important point. This web server is in internet. So first you need to start with internet. As a developer point of view, voice is breaking. Okay, just a minute, I will adjust. Is it okay right now? Is my voice is clear right now? Yeah, right. Thank you, Arun Kumar. So first, even though we started with web, but the web is a space under the control of web server, but that web server belongs to internet. So first you need to start with the internet. So here, internet in simple words, it is a network of networks or a network with indefinite size. Right or wrong? A network is internet is a network of networks or a network with indefinite size. We cannot define the size of internet, right or wrong? Right. Now, next. Now after that, yes. Now you are a developer. You are going to become a web developer, especially. Okay. So when you interpret the internet in terms of a developer, okay, what are the things visible to you? See the internet in terms of a developer, not a user. Remember that. See, assume you are a developer and see what are the things inside the internet. Now, when you see the internet in terms of a software or in terms of as a developer, okay, you are able to see two things. The internet is composed with of two types of components. They are nothing but simply, I mean, software components, not hardware, because you are not a hardware. Okay, you are not a hardware person. You are going to become a web developer. So, as a web developer point of view, you can divide this entire internet into two types of components. They are two types of software components. They are clients and servers. Remember, what are they? See this: web client and web server, email client and email server, FTP client and FTP server, database client and database server, API client and REST web API server, chat client and chat server. In such a way, the total internet is composed with of two types of things only: servers and clients. That's all. Their functionality may be different, and sometimes, okay, if you are not a developer, you are a user, you don't know anything about the internet. maybe these softwares are completely seems to be different to you. Don't worry about that. Just simply try to understand. Okay, internet is composed with of two types of components, clients and servers. That's all. Right. Now coming to our back to web. See how this internet is organized. See, we are unable to explore the entire internet because it is not just a simple thing. Simply client and server. That's all. That too which client and server? A client and server which is well known to everyone. That is, see, everyone visits websites. Everyone experienced the websites. How they experienced it? See, everyone from so many years and years. If you observe, see, you are able to see to book the website. See, to book the tickets, you are using websites. To see your results of your children or for your results, your BTech results or degree results. Okay, for so many years you are using websites. Every day you are visiting so many websites for entertainment use, for educational use, and even for tutorials. So it means everyone is with the website experience. Maybe you are not a developer, you are an end user, you don't know anything about the internet. You have zero knowledge about the web development, but you have a knowledge called working with that using of website. Usage knowledge is there. You know how to visit a website. So based on that, just explore the internet. See, a web client and web server. This is well known to everyone. So now I am exploring that web client and web server. See, let us see. A web server is a system with some high-end hardware, which is with server operating system. On that server operating system, a web server software is provided. See, it is connected with nodejs also. Remember that. So that's why these basics are very important. Again, my voice is breaking. Okay. Just a minute. I will adjust. Is my voice is clear right now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Thank you for it. If any inconvenience, please update me. Actually, it is not clear. It is clear right now. Okay. Just a minute. Yeah. Yes, I will increase. Is it clear? Ajay, is it clear?
So it's clear.
Yeah, right. Now, see. Yes. Thank you, Ajay. Now here, see, the web server software is installed on the operating system. Now, in the space of that web server software, the websites are deployed. Okay, one or more websites. Here, the simple point. Okay. See, once again, I'm telling to everyone, even though you don't know the basics, don't worry about this one. Just try to understand this one as a functional element. So here, this web server software, different companies provided different web server softwares. So generally, I use the word web server software. That's all. Now, this web server software, yeah, I will come. Swami, I will come back. I will come to HTTP and HTTPS servers later. First of all, I'm covering the basics. Now, yes, see, the web means it is HTTP and HTTPS. Okay. Now here, this under the space of this web server software, there is a possibility to deploy or to place one or more websites. Some companies, they purchase entire web server for their company only, for their application only. Such type of systems are called as dedicated servers. Remember that. And some servers allows multiple, multiple websites on it it is called shared hosting. Okay, it means multiple companies or multiple clients deploys multiple websites on the same system. That is called shared hosting. So anyway, finally the server is with the web server is with websites. Now to visit these websites, we need a client software. Okay, that is called web browser. Maybe it is Chrome or Firefox or anything, Opera or any Edge or Internet Explorer, anything. Now a system which is with web browser is called as web client. Now the web client raises a request to the website. Now the web server receives that request, and if that request is valid, then it sends a response to that client from which it has received the request, not to any other one. Remember, here every line is important. Remember that it sends the response to the web client from which it has received the request. Right. Now this request and response will go according to a protocol called HTTP protocol. Right. This is the basic behavior between the web client and web server. Okay. Now let us explore these words: request, response, and HTTP protocol and all in a developer way. Okay, not as a user way. See, if you are a user, just you opens the browser and you types some URL. That's all. Automatically, you navigates to your pages. Okay, you clicks on the relevant links which are required to you. That's all. But this is different. You are going to become a developer. So you should know what is the difference between a website and web API. Both you should know. That's why you started with website. Okay. Later we are switching to, in the place of website, the web API comes. Remember. Now first, see, web is nothing but a space which is under the control of web server, which is accessible to everyone via internet. This is the most important point. A space which is under the control of web server, that is accessible to everyone via internet. That is it really true? Yes, it is really true. Is it visible? Yes, we can show. Initially, for better understanding, we can say that the space as a folder. Just assume a folder. Okay, see, your system contains C drive, D drive, F drive, like that. The secondary memory is divided into drives. Now the drives are again divided into folders. Now assume that space is nothing but a folder. Right? Just assume for better understanding right now. This folder is under the control of the web server, which you are using here. That's web server software. Yeah, I will show you. I will show you, Swami. Just very soon I am going to show you. Right. Now, see that web contains, the web contains in that space, there is a possibility to place one or more websites. This one, see. Now, website is an example for web application. See, we are entering into different level. See, web application, but here I use the word website. So website is an example for web application, but all the web applications are not websites. Remember, all the web applications are not websites, but all the websites are web applications. This is very important point. Why? Generally, we are dealing with websites, but you are, as a web developer, you are going to deal with web APIs also. So it means in the web server, you are going to deploy in the place of websites or along with websites, you are going to deploy web APIs also. So web applications means two examples. Website is an example for web application. Web API is also an example for web application. Remember that. Right. Now, what is the purpose of this web? See, web is like a public place, a public space. But how it is accessible? It is accessible through internet. So assume that web is nothing but a space which is accessible to all via internet. So then what is the use of that space? See, that space is accessible to everyone. Now it means if anything is placed in that space, that is made accessible to everyone. That is the mechanism here. See that. I told you, web is nothing but a space, and that is accessible to everyone via internet. Now in that space, if anything is placed, I mean that, say, I told you, web is nothing but a folder, just assume. Folder contains files. If a file is placed inside that folder, okay, as that folder is made available to all, okay, what happens? The files which are inside that folder are also available. Because that folder is a public place. Try to understand that one. I will show you. If any information placed in the web, that information was made accessible to everyone through internet. So the primary aim of web is information sharing easily without any delay. That is the important point. Now, how you are placing that information? That is the question here. See, you are placing the information in the form of websites. So website is a collection of web pages. So the web page contains information. That's all. It is presented by using HTML. See, I am talking about the basics, not the advanced level. Okay, advanced level will come step by step. We'll see. Now, what is the web server? Right. Web server is nothing but again a software, or simply say, again it is a program which holds web applications in its space. See, the web server contains or it holds multiple web applications or one or more web applications in its space. Now, what are the server functionalities? Abstractively, it is fixed IP address. It depends upon your server. Okay. See, when you are maintaining your server, okay, you should have fixed IP, static IP it is called. See, right. Now, see, is a program, see, web server is a program which holds web applications. That's fine. Now, see, when in the nodejs, this web server is very important. This web server role, okay, especially those who are going to learn about the nodejs and express, this web server concept is very important. Now, this web server program provides a convenient environment for the web applications in its space. Okay, just like in this diagram, how this web server software providing a convenient environment to the websites, right? Now, what are the basic abstractive functionalities of a web server? Let us try to understand. It receives a request from the web client. See this here, this one. It receives a request from the web client. Now, after that, understands it and processes it and prepares the response and sends that response to the web client from which the web server has received the request. This is see, I'm not going into the deeper levels. Okay, just abstractively I divided this. How to understand these steps? Suppose if you have any basic knowledge, then you are able to understand. If you have some development knowledge, then also okay. Suppose you are an end user, you don't know anything about the web development, then how to understand this? Right. See, I will show you all the web server examples. Don't worry, because I told you the web server, software and space. I will show you both. Now, let us understand this example through a classroom example. See this, students and master relationship. Now, student sends a question to the master. Say yes or no, all of you. Generally in the classroom, the student sends a question to the master, right or wrong? Or the student asks a question. Right. Yes. Thank you. Thanks for responding. Now, master listens that question first. See, each line is related to the development. Maybe it seems to be simple right now, but it has a lot of meaning behind every word. Master listens that question. first of all, and it understands. The master understands that question. Okay, because without understanding the question, okay, he cannot prepare the answer. Right or wrong? So first, the master should understand the question, and after that, prepares the answer, and that answer is sent to that student. Okay, to that student by the master, from which student the master has received the question, right? So this is the master and student relationship in the classroom. But at the initial stage, it is very easy to understand. But what are the conclusions and what are the difficulties in this example? See here, in a classroom, students will be one or more. That is a very important point. Next, but for all the students, only one master. That is important point. Now, and from the student side, each student can ask one or more questions. Such possibility is there. So, for all the students and their questions, only one master. Suppose in a classroom 30 students are there. Each student asks one question. 30 questions need to be answered by one master. Now each student asked three questions. Just assume three questions. So 30 students, 30 into 3, 90 questions. All that 90 questions need to be answered by one master only. That is the thing. So now, when two students are there, and when there is a chance for multiple questions from the multiple students, only one master is there to answer all the questions. You should have a proper mechanism. You should have a proper mechanism. See that for proper communication between the students and masters. Okay, while asking the questions and while giving the answers, they should follow a proper order. Otherwise, what happens? See, if all the students raise their questions at once, is it possible to understand that questions and to prepare the answers and to give the proper answers to all the students by the master? Tell me. Is it easy?
No, sir.
No, sir.
So, for better communication between the master and master and students, they should create certain mechanism. That is called, while asking the questions, first the students may raise the hands, and the master selects one student, and while one student asking the question, remaining all the students will be in the waiting state, right, Ram? So in this way, one by one, the questions will be resolved by the master. This manual mechanism, this is called protocol. This is called a mechanism to send a question and to send a response, answer to the student. So this mechanism need to be deployed. Otherwise, what happens if this mechanism should be followed? Otherwise, what happens? Simply the question and answers becomes meaningless. It becomes meaningless. The communication becomes not understandable and it becomes meaningless. So here, this analogy is applied on our web. See, master is a web server and student is a web client. Remember. Okay, right. So up to here, all are okay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Fine, sir.
Yes. Yeah, the PDF will be shared by the management. Yeah. Now come to again back to our website, because our target is web API. But at the same time, these basics are very, very important development point of view. Website is a collection of one or more web pages, and it is under the control of a web server. This is very important. Now, as you are a web developer and we are dealing with basic websites, so I'm not going with the other technologies. See, web page. What is meant by web page? In simple words, web page is a program. Web page is a program, no doubt. Web page is a program using which the information is presented at the client side at the client, see at the client inside the web client software, that is called web browser. See, the information is presented visually, means displayed visually inside the web client software. What is that web client software? Web browser, remember. In addition to the above, the web page is used to take the input and to show the output. Also, see, to show the output. Now, for this purpose, we are using a technology called HTML, right? But so many other technologies are there. I'm not going with that all the technologies right now. Just HTML, right? Next, what is meant by web client? Web client is nothing but a system which is with web browser and connected to the internet. That is called web client. Using, see, is nothing but web browser using, see, using which the client interacts with the websites. So what is the purpose of this web browser? Using this web browser only, you are able to interact with websites. Now tell me, is there any other software using which you are able to interact with websites? No, there is no any other software by the end user, right? See, the vendor may change. Some people may use Internet Explorer, some people may use Edge, some people may use Chrome, Firefox, Opera, like that. But to visit the websites or to communicate with, to connect with websites, you need web browser, remember, right? Now, what is the purpose? What is the behavior of this web browser? See, the web browser sends a request to the web server. The server receives that request. Once the server receives the client request along with the data, it tries to process that request, and after the completion of that request processing, the result will be sent to the browser. This is called response from server to client. So this is the basic behavior. Fine. Then in the diagram, HTTP or HTTPS is there. What is the purpose of this HTTP and HTTPS? This is a protocol. Okay, what is this protocol? Okay, see, a technical people can understand the protocol, but a normal person, okay, I mean that without any basic knowledge, okay, unable to understand. So what is this protocol? I will compare this protocol with one real-time element. I mean that normal, generalized, not non-technical area. Okay, what is that? See, two people are communicating by using some language. Say, for example, English. Just assume. A sentence is prepared by using English language. When that sentence is meaningful, tell me.
When both the peoples understand.
No. I'm asking about when that sentence is meaningful. When you followed the grammar, right or wrong?
Both the
Yes.
persons, they know the same language. So that's why they are communicated.
Then only the sentence is meaningful, right or wrong? Right. Suppose still you are getting some confusion. Just assume. Suppose if the grammar is not used to construct a sentence, what happens? Some people may understand that sentence in one way. Some people may understand the sentence in another way. So if 10 people read that sentence, 10 people may understand that sentence in 10 ways, right or wrong? Because it conveys the meaning, different meanings. If it is not constructed in a proper way, right? They understand in their own ways. But if you follow the grammar, then what happens? If the sentence is constructed perfectly, it always possesses the same meaning, right? The meaning of the sentence never changes if you follow the grammar perfectly, right or wrong? So there is no chance for misinterpretation, right or wrong? If any language, it may be Telugu or Tamil or Sanskrit or English or Chinese or whatever it is, if the sentences are constructed by using their own native language grammar, what happens? That sentence possesses same meaning wherever it is used, right or wrong? There is no chance for different meanings. Say yes or no? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, that is the important point here. So HTTP protocol is also nothing but up to like that. It is like that. HTTP protocol is nothing but one grammar. Okay, which tells about the arrangement of data when the client sending the request to server and when server sending the response to the client. That is, see, grammar means it tells about the arrangement of words in the sentence, right or wrong? Based on that subject, object, verb, like that. In such a way, when the client sending the data to server, okay, means nothing but a request. It is called request. So the arrangement of data inside the request is done according to, yes, HTTP protocol. So according to that grammar name is nothing but HTTP, Hypertext Transmission Protocol. So at the same time, in the same way, the server sends a response to the browser. Now this response is nothing but data. See, the request and response is nothing but what? They are nothing but data. That's all. Okay. Request means data from client to server. Response means data from server to client. But that how to organize that data? That data is organized according to HTTP protocol. So who designed this protocol? Where it is available? Okay. See, it is available in the W3C websites. See, HTTP protocol documentation is available. Okay. Anyway, we'll see about that one also later, one by one. See this. Right. So protocol, see, the request and response data message structure should be according to Hypertext Transmission Protocol. That is. See, whatever the things we are discussing right now, these are all useful for web API also, remember. Okay, it is not only about the website, right? That's why we are discussing. Now, what are the important points you need to remember here? The request sent by the web client must be in the understandable format of web server. Very, very important, the important points, these two. The request sent by the web client means request sent by the web client. Web client means just assume student. Student asked a question. The question should be in the understandable format of master, right or wrong? Say yes, sir, all of you.
Yes, sir.
The question asked by the student must be in the understandable format of master, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, the response sent by the web server must be in the understandable format of web client. Means, see, the master prepared the answer and that answer is sent it to the student. The answer should be in the understandable format of student. Remember that. Because, see, the master prepared an answer. Very good. Properly, every point is covered. But the student understands only English, just assume. But the master generated that question, generated that answer by using a non-English language. It may be Telugu or Tamil or whatever it is. Even though it is a proper answer, but it is not understandable to the student. But because the student understands only English, so the master should prepare the answer in the understandable format of student, and student should raise the request or should raise the question only in the understandable format of web server. I mean that master. So these are the two important points in the development point of view. These 2 points plays very key role. Remember, right now these are seems to be very simple, but they are very important. Now let us see. The web server holds one or more websites, and the website is a collection of web pages. Okay. So this is about the basics. Now in this basics, I told you web server, it contains a space, right around all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, where is that space and where is that server? See, different companies provided different servers to maintain the web applications. Among them, some servers like see, Microsoft provided a server called IIS, Internet Information Services, and Tomcat, right? Yeah, Apache Group, and WebSphere, and WebLogic, in such a way, so many servers are there. Okay, so many servers. See, these servers are provided by the different companies. Remember, because this word again, we will touch this concept again in the nodejs. These are provided by the different companies or different vendors. Right. Now, this server software is installed on a particular system. Then that system is going to be called as web server. Suppose on your laptop or on your desktop, if you install this IAS, okay, your system is going to be called as web server. Simple, no doubt at all. But now, see now on my system, I installed IAS. Click on this IAS, and this is a IAS This is a IAS dashboard, Internet Information Services Manager, and these are all the different types of options which are available to manage to configure the web server. Please remember these points. These points comes under node once again. This server is by Microsoft, and it provided a dashboard to configure the web server. Right. Now, where is the space? See, in this diagram, we said web. See, this is first we started with web. Web is nothing but a space which is under control of web server. Where is that? Yes. Now see this. See on the left side here, it is two option. A down tree is there. Right here, application pools and sites are there. If you expand this, it is showing a default website empty. Okay, anyway, it is also okay. Fine. Where is that space? Now see. Now in the C drive, see for yes, cloud also. See this everything, whatever the things I am dealing here, everything is applicable both cloud and normal servers also. Yes. Cloud is also nothing but server, remember. But the way of behavior is voice is breaking. Okay, fine. Just a minute. I will adjust. Is my voice is clear right now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, right. Now, whenever a server is installed on the system, okay, every server comes up with their own folders. Remember. Now here, if you install this, yeah. Okay, right, Arvind. Thank you. Now, if you see this in the C drive, there is a folder named inetpub. See this inetpub, Internet Publications, and it contains a folder www.root. This is web. Remember, or this is a folder or which is under the control of web server. Right. See, I am not talking about the virtual directories. It is a different concept. But anyway, one folder is a folder which is under the control of web server. It may be virtual folder or it may be its own folder, whatever it is. But here, see this one. inetpub is the main directory. In that www root is there. This www World Wide Web root means root directory. In this directory, you are going to place websites. Now open this www root. See that. These are all the folders. That's all. If you developed a website, okay, all the web pages are placed inside the one folder. Now, just place that folder inside the www root. See, you can do one simple example. New. See, I'm not using any IDE also. Say, for example, just online mart is a folder. Just assume. See, by using different softwares, we can create websites. Now in this folder, in that I am using. See, I want to use minimum code because some people are completely from basics. So that's why I want to use the minimum code here. Right. Now let us make it as a HTML file. Save as online mart. I have given the name as index.html. All files. Save. Right. Now online mart is a folder which is with one HTML page. Say yes or no?
Yes,
Online
sir.
mart, yes. Now, no doubt it is a website. No doubt it is a website. Remember that. Maybe it is not with rich look. Maybe it is not with a complete interface, but no doubt it is a website. Technically, it is a website. Now, copy this. See, you are the developer. You maintain a local copy. So this is your local copy. Now copy this and open the www root and place it here. See, it is manual deployment. Okay. See, deployment tools are there. So many. Right. It comes under development. Cloud deployment is different. See, here it is an online mart. It is with the index page. Okay, one HTML page. So now first, your server is running or not? First check it. See, if you right click on the server, here see, start is disabled, stop is enabled. It means it is running. Your server is running. Now, open some browser. See, when I type a keyword called localhost, I am getting some output here. It means you are raising a request towards a server. Browser should raise a request towards a website, right? But where is your browser and where is your server? Both are on the same system, right? See, the Chrome browser is on my system, and the IIS server is also on my system. So both client and server are same system. So I no need to refer any other server. I should refer a server which is running on my system where my client is also running. Okay, wherever my client is there, in that location only server is also there. Please try to understand. So that's why it is local host. Local host means locally, right? What is the website name? Online mart. In that which page you want? Index.html. See, you got it. So it proves that www root is a space. www root is a folder. www root is a space. Right. So in that space, you need to deploy. You need to place multiple websites. Now online mart is a website which is with one HTML page. Say yes or no?
Yes, sir.
That is. So in such a way, you can place any number of folders. Each folder represents one web application. I mean one website. Remember. Okay. Right. But it's a very simple thing. And one more important. Suppose, for example, I want to show you one thing. Just it is a simple setting. I want to just see. Please observe this URL. Localhost online mart. I not specified index name. See, I not requested the index.html, but the server sent it index.html. Why? When no page is requested by the client, then default page is sent. that default page name is index. So generally, when you develop websites by any technology, okay, generally in websites, in that collection of web pages, one web page name, they will keep one web page name as index. It may be index.html, maybe index.php or index.jsp. Okay, in such a way, right? Sometimes depending upon the technology, sometimes maybe the default name may vary. Suppose, for example, if it is ASPX, okay, it is default.aspx. Instead of index, they uses default, the file name. So this is the way. Yes. See, the www root is the direct folder, okay, which is under control of web server. But suppose if you are developing, see, you kept your folder in D drive or F drive. You want to make that drive, you want to make that folder, you want to make that folder under the control of web server. Without moving that folder into the www root, also you can make it. Okay, that is called virtual directory. Okay, physically it is in other drive. Okay, other than C drive, you are not moved it physically to the www root. It is somewhere in the D drive or F drive or somewhere. Okay, without moving it to www root, you can make that directory as a part of our www root. It is called virtual directory concept. So see, that is.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, you can make that one. Yeah, just a minute. See here.
Okay.
Right click on this. Here, add website. By using this option, you can add your any folder from any location of your system, okay, to your server. This is called virtual directory concept. Both are true. That's why I told you a folder which is under the control of web server. It may be in the www root or it may be somewhere. That is. Yeah. Yes. Someone asked me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sir, actually, you have installed IIS, right?
Yeah.
If we not install it and we just type localhost in Google, then we'll be getting it from cloud, right?
Yeah, that is, see, it works default. Remember. Okay. It works default, right? Right. Now the point is, right. Now in our basics, we use one more word about the request and response. See, the request may carry data also. Right. See this. Once the server receives the client request along with data. Along with data. What is the meaning of this? Along with data. It means the request contains data. How can you say the request contains data? Yes. Without any example also, we can explore this. Suppose all of you, so many people are using Gmail from the so many years, right around? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now you open the browser and type gmail.com. You are getting the login page. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. Now, how the server sended that login page to you only? Why it is not sended to any other one? Unfortunately,
Because we have requested for the page.
from browser, right? From your browser, you typed gmail.com, right?
As a domain name.
See, you typed gmail.com. Your browser received the response called login page, right? Now your browser, how the server sended that login page to you only? Using the specific IP address. Are you sended the IP address?
Of specific.
See, I'm asking, are you sended your IP address? You typed gmail.com only, right, Ram?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
You
Yes,
never
sir.
sended your data, right?
Yes.
You never sended your data. You
No.
never sended your location details, right, Ram?
Yes.
So it means someone send it your data to server. You typed gmail.com only, but along with the gmail.com, it sended your browser details, your time zone details, your specific region details. You belongs to which one, which area in the globe. You belongs to India or you belongs to some other, your time zone and your browser, your version and your IP address. Everything will be sent to the server. So that's why the server identified you, so that it is able to send exactly the response to your browser. So it means your request contains data or not?
Yes.
Yes, that
Yes.
is. See,
Sir.
conversion of binding the domain name with IP address and all, it comes under administration. Okay, naming servers are there, and how to make, how to assign. See, if you are typing gmail.com, Gmail means Gmail. Suppose see, server is also with IP address. Suppose I am deviating, it is already 1 hour. So here see, if a IP address is provided, is it easy to remember? Tell me.
Sir.
See,
No, sir.
it is not easy to remember, right? Suppose if a name is given, it is easy to remember. See, is it your house number is easy to remember? Tell me. And see, generally for a house, a name is given, right? Say for example, say some Sri apartments, okay? Say some or Sri Nilayam, right? Or some XYZ some paradise, something like that. Say different names. So instead of house number, a name is easy to remember, right, Ram?
Yes, sir. Yes.
So the Gmail, www.gmail.com. So Gmail points to a address, remember. Actually, if you know the IP address, instead of typing the gmail.com, if you type that IP address, then also you get the login page. But to the Gmail, to the word Gmail, how the IP address is binded, that is another concept. Okay. If the time permits, I will explore that concept also. See now, next. See, if you want to make your website visible to the others, you need to host it. Now I hosted in the IAS server, which is running on my system. But if you want to make it available, it need to be hosted on the internet servers, which are running in the internet, which are maintained by different companies, like GoDaddy, okay, or Fast Comet, or any cloud service provided by different companies. You need to purchase. Okay, they will provide that space. They will provide that area. Now, by using client software, you need to upload that client website into it. Right. Next. Now, coming to the data. How can you say the data is sent to the client? Yeah. See, I will explain about the webpack later. It is we are coming. Right. It comes under concept. Okay. The binding concept comes under, again, it is a naming server, DNS records and all. Okay, NS records, A record, so many. Okay. So now, what is the, how can you say request contains data? Right. Let us do one example here. See, these all the concepts are required for better application of better web API development. Remember. So now HTML. See, why I am not using the tools means without tools also you can demonstrate this. That's why, up to some extent. See this example, the motto of this example is to prove request contains data. Yeah, VS Code, Microsoft, Visual Studio Code and VS Code, both you can use. If it is from VS Code is for client side UI development for Angular and React, especially it is a free, or you can use Visual Studio 2022 for both client side application development and server side application development. See, this is a very simple and basic example. Don't think that it is a real login example. Just it is to show how to send the data from client to server. That's all. Because by considering the end users, we designed this. Yeah, you can use placeholder so that it displays, it comes, the text comes inside the text box. See here, we are not teaching the HTML, remember, we can use placeholder, good, so that we can save the space. Right. So now we save this as some login.html something. Save. Right. So in this, I used some tags like form, method equal to get, action, and see enter username, input type equal text to enter the data. And I have given a name to the text box is a name equal to username. And I created one more text box, name equal to password. And I created one button, input type equal to button, sorry. Input type equal to submit, it is a button, value equal to login. Now all these tags inside the form, and I saved this one as a login.html. Now move this login.html to our server. So copy this. Generally in the real time we use FTP clients to perform all these operations. Qt FTP. Right. So now open the browser. Online mod / I want login.html. Now open the developer tools, Ctrl+Shift+I, and now press the login button. See this. Please observe this URL. Login.html is concatenated with the user ID and password. See this. Is appended, simply say, or it is joined. Any name you can use. Username equal to admin and password equal to 1234. So in this way, the data is sent to the server. That is one methodology. But it is not secure. Why? Because the data username and password are visible. Right? So then what to do? Then do one thing. Go back to yes. Open this login.html. Post. Save this and move this login.html to the server. Yes. Yeah, we have to buy some domains. Not only domains, hosting also. They may be made from two different vendors also. Domain from one website, domain from one vendor, and hosting from some other vendor. And later we can join both. See, you can use free hosting, but some limitations are there. Online mod / login.html. Control Shift I and go to network tab here. Admin. Now click the this is. Please observe here. See at the URL. The URL is empty. I mean that sorry, it is not appended with any data. See, just it is login.html. And the data sent it to the server. See this form data, username, admin, password is 12345. So it means it sent the request, and implicitly the request contains the form data. So this example proves that the request contains data. That is the thing. Client error means there is no server side program. That's why error. Okay. Is there any program at server to receive that username and password? Swami, that's why we got error. See, when the student sending a question, master should be there to receive that, right or wrong? Is it clear? Hello? See, you entered username and password. There should be some program to verify your username and password, whether they are valid or not. So are you developed any such program there? No. So that's why it is an error. Okay. But our client side, it is okay. Client side, you raise a request and that request contains data, username and password. That's all. Okay. So now we are coming to up to here. Everything is clear, all of you? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, clear.
Right. 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 Now coming to nodejs. So what is this nodejs? So before proceeding to this, I want to explain one important point. Website is a collection of web pages. Then what about this web API? Because our aim is totally web API development. Now,
Collection of information.
yeah, see here. The most important point, web page and web API. These two you need to compare. Then you are able to understand this web API very effectively. Okay, at the basic level. See, all are web applications. Now, a website, is with one or more web pages. Yeah. Yes. Now here, what is this web API? Web API is also nothing but one web application. Right. No doubt. Now this web application contains web APIs. Whereas website is also a web application which contains web pages. What is the difference between these two? Page is a visual entity, remember. Visual element. When a page is opened, okay, the page displays certain content inside the browser's area. Right or wrong? Hello? Say yes or no, all of you? The web page displays certain content, okay, it displays some information at the browser's body area, right? Now what about this web API? Now what is the purpose of this web page? You can share the information. Okay, right. Because see, you developed some, you have written some articles about some coronavirus or some concept. You want to share with others, right? So you developed that content, you presented that content in the form of web pages, and all that web pages are connected and they are placed inside the website. So you made that URL available to all your friends or to the outside world, so anyone can access that one. That's all. So the main aim of web page is sharing the information. That's all, right? So many things are there in the website. I'm not dealing with that right now. So sharing the information, right or wrong? Sharing the information. That's the main aim of, that's the basic aim of a web page. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Now, this comparison, this is very important. Web API is not visual, remember. This is the first difference. Web API is not visual, whereas web page is visual. And web page is for to share the information, but web API is to share the logic, to share the functionality, remember. That is. So the main aim of web API is to share the logic over the internet. That is. See, when a web page is placed in the website, what happens? That page is made available to the public through the internet, right? That is. Any user who connected to the internet by using a web browser can access this web page, right or wrong? Now in the same way, the web API is made available to the remaining, to the internet users through the, sorry, it is made available through the internet users. How? That is a different concept, I will explain. But it is nothing but what? It is nothing but logic. It is nothing but functionality. It is not a page. Remember, it is not a page. It is a function. Now let us explore this. See, it is also accessible through the internet. Why? Because you deployed the web API as a web application. The web. As you deployed a website in the web server, in the same way you deployed the web API also. As the web page is available through the internet, in the same way the web API is also made available. But a difference is there. Whenever a web page is to the client side, it shows certain information visually. But whenever a web API is called, okay, what happens? Now let us explore. Let us make it very simple. How you access a web page? Tell me. By using web browser, okay, fine. You should have an address of it, right or wrong? The address of that web page is called URL, right or wrong? See, when you want to access a web page of a website, you should have a URL of them. Tell me. You should have an address. Without
Yes, sir.
address, can you visit any web page? No, right?
No.
No. So now, if you want a web API, okay, it should also be identified by URL. This is common again. Address. Now, why you are sharing the logic over the internet? That is the question. If you are sharing a web page, it is okay. It is meaningful. I want to share my information with all the others. Okay. See, I developed a website about a school. It is okay. I developed a website about a restaurant. It is also okay. I developed a website about a supermarket. That is also okay. Okay. I developed a website for a say internet streaming server. I developed video streaming server like Hotstar and AHA, something like that, Netflix like that, because I want to share my movie information with others, my content with others. That content may be text content or maybe image content, or it may be mixed of both audio video content. See, I developed a web application called SoundCloud where I want to share my audio content. So here you are sharing the information. This information may be text, images, audio, video, or mixed, right? Say sir, no, all of you.
Yes, sir.
Now, what you are sharing here in the web API, you are sharing the logic. Why? Why you are sharing the logic? See, here I am sharing the text and images and audio and video for a particular product or for a particular company or something. Okay. If you are sharing images and text and so on, so means of a school means I am promoting the school content. I am making the school information available to the all purpose. Okay, I want to promote. I want to more people should know about the school or college or restaurant or whatever it is. But here, what is the purpose of sharing a logic? Now, try to understand this one. Yes. Now, you need to study here little bit more. Web API. Suppose if you don't know about the API, API means simply say it is a function. That's all. A function written by using some language. But it is placed or deployed or made available, deployed on web, that is. So you developed a function by using some language and you placed it on web so that anyone can use that function. Okay, fine, good. Now come to again basics. A C language function, see, a C language function is used by, is consumed by only, tell me, only another C language program only, right or wrong? Yes or no? A C language function is consumed by C language program only, right or wrong?
Yes, sir. Correct only.
Because the C language function syntax and the C language program syntax both are same, right? That is the thing. So in the same way, the other languages also. Now, if you want to use a function which is deployed on the server, okay, I want to use this function in my application. How? This language, this function is developed by using some language. Your application is developed by some other language. then how to use it? That is the main problem. See, a Java program, a Java function is used by Java program only. Right, in such a way. See, some exceptions are there, but the basic line I want to tell you. Yeah. Yeah, the recordings are available. So here, the most important point. API is developed by using X technology or X language. But the user of the API may be by Y language. Remember, how a language called Y can consume a function which is developed by using X language. X is different and Y is different. How? That is. So here, this function which is deployed on the web or which is placed on the web, okay, and which is made available through the web, should be made architecturally neutral. That is important. I mean that, say like we can say, any language can able to access this function. You need to make that function in such a way. Right. So how to make that one? That is important point. So here, first, why you are sharing the logic over the internet? That is the first question. And how the users of that language, users of that function, users of that API, able to access that API without any problem. These two questions you should answer. Why you are sharing this logic? That is first question. Second question, those who wants to use this function as a part of their application, how they can use, even though their applications belongs to some other language, right? So now see, coming to our logic. Now here in the internet, let us assume there is one application is there called Big Basket. Okay, Big Basket, two types of applications are there. Website is there and mobile app is there, right? And if you take Amazon, website is there, mobile app is there. All of you able to follow? For Big Basket, website is there, mobile app is there. For Amazon, website is there and mobile app is there. Next, for Swiggy, website is there, mobile app is there, right? Now, see, these three are very famous, are more popular for their services. Almost everyone in our area consumed this, right? Now, consumed these services of this Big Basket and Amazon and Swiggy, right? All of you say yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
sir.
Now, see, this Big Basket comes up with groceries, and Amazon also comes up with groceries, and Swiggy also comes up with food services, right? Now, any customer can use the Big Basket services through the web or mobile app. In the same way for Amazon, the same way for mobile also, in the same way for Swiggy also. Now, all these websites and mobile apps are developed by the same technology. All these are by using same technology.
No, sir.
They are by different technologies. Websites are by different technologies. Mobile apps also. See, for Android users, Android mobile apps are there. for iOS users, iPhone users, iPhone mobile apps are there, right? So it means these are all by using different technologies, right? The answer is here, no. So it is all the applications, all these apps by different technologies, right? Right. Now my question is, you are the user of Big Basket. See, you are the user. Say the username is, say for example, Mr. Krishna. Okay, right. So now Krishna, when interacting with Big Basket by using a website, okay, he can place an order and pay the bill, right? By using mobile app, Android mobile app, place the order and pay the bill, right? And mobile app, this is iPhone, can raise an order and can pay the bill, right? Now, in the same way, suppose Krishna interacted, now the Krishna wants to purchase on Amazon, right? Now on the Amazon website, again, the Krishna can raise an order and can pay the bill, right, Ram? And even for mobile apps, both. Android can raise an order and can pay the bill. Now the Krishna uses Swiggy. See, from this example, we need to draw so many things. That's why, please be, please wait for conclusions. Can raise an order and can pay. And even for mobile, right. Now, see, when the Krishna used these three apps, means totally here three, one website, two mobile apps, and here one website, three mobile apps, and here one website, three mobile apps. Totally how many applications? 9 applications by different technologies, right?
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Now, these 9 applications used by same customer named Krishna, right? Now, what is the common operation? Payment. Totally, by using these 9 applications, Krishna performed an operation called payment. Right? Now, Krishna has different accounts. No, only one account. Say, for example, one account, one bank account. Krishna with one bank account in ICICI, just assume. Right? Now, ICICI bank database is with, see, this ICICI database contains the bank details of Mr. Krishna. Okay. Now, this ICICI developed an application to perform the operations like, say, for example, add money or check the account. Okay. Now, see, check balance. Transfer funds. generate statement in such a way the ICSA developed. See, the ICSA developed. See, I want to make it clear. I want to go with simple example. Later, I will explain the remaining logics also. Okay. So here, ICSA bank developed different functions: check account, check the balance, and transfer the funds, and finally generate the statement. Right. Now, these functionalities are used by the ICICI Bank in the ICICI Bank employees, by the ICICI Bank customers, or by the ICICI Bank employees. So it means ICICI Bank also uses these functions, right, Ram? ICICI Bank also uses these functions in their in-house function, in their in-house, right? Right, Ram? Next.
Yes, sir.
Now,
Right, sir.
now Krishna is a ICICI Bank holder, wants to pay money for his order on the big basket. Now big basket is developed by using some X technology. Now you want to transfer your amount from your account to big basket account. How it is possible? That is the important point. See, first the Krishna account should be validated. Please observe the sequence. Payment means is not just payment. First, Krishna account details need to be validated. Who validates? See, here the payment means what? Let us see. Payments means what? First, someone, see, first take the input. Input. What is input? Account details, right? Account details need to be taken as input. That is done by the big basket application. Who is responsible for input? Just the big basket application. So you develop the big basket application. You are the developer. Just assume. So you create a page. In that input page, user enters the account details so that there is no problem. But once the account details are collected by the big basket, who verifies that account is valid or not? That is the main question here. Okay. See, you are a web developer of big basket, but how you can verify the account details? Is the account details are provided to you by the bank? Any bank shares their account details with you or with the big basket? No, they never share. So it means you need to pass these details to someone who validates the account details. So here, what is your requirement? It is not about ICICI, it is not about Union Bank or something. So you need validation logic. So what is your requirement here? What is your requirement here?
Validation.
See, you collected the account.
Validation logic.
That is okay. You design an excellent page where every option is collected. Account number, okay. So the code and each and everything you collected. The name, everything. Okay, the expiry date and each and everything is collected properly. Right. But no use. So your requirement is which validation? Account details validation. That is the question. So here, account details validation logic is required. Okay, fine. Suppose assume suppose somehow you got the ICICI account database. Somehow it is impossible, but okay, somehow you got the ICICI bank database. So you verified it. Only ICICI account customers purchases your goods. No. Some Union Bank people may come, HDFC Bank people may come, Bank of Baroda people may come. Okay. So how can you verify all the bank account holders, all types of bank account holders details? Is it possible? Can all the banks will provide the logic to you? Can provide their database to you?
No, sir.
No. So it means You need account details validation logic means see how much complex it is. It may be credit card or it may be debit card, right? Maybe credit card or debit card, right? Aram? Right. Now it may be Union Bank, it may be HDFC Bank, it may be Bank of Baroda, or it may be Canara Bank, or it may be SBH, or it may be SBI. See how many banks database you can access. See, it means some validation logic is required. This is called sharing the logic. See, this is the question. Why the sharing the logic is required? Big basket is your application. Your application requires a logic called validation logic, account validation. Okay. See, this where is this account validation logic? That is first question. Validation is completed. Based on that validation, you need to transfer the funds. So transfer funds logic is required. Transfer the funds logic and generate the statement logic. Right. This type of. So all these logics you require. Where all these logics? Where all these functions? So these functions are provided by someone and they are running at one server. Okay. See, these are all logics means what? These are all functions, right? Now these functions developed by someone and they are running at one particular this is the server system. Right. Now in this server system, we need server software. Now in this server software, you are developing a web application. Now this web application contains small functions. I mean that one validation logic, one transfer funds logic, one generate statement logic. These are all. Okay. So this is API 1. It means say it is validation logic. This is a transfer logic. And this is a say statement logic. That is. So these are all the functions. Now these functions are required by different applications. So here it is by Big Basket website. And mobile app of Big Basket. It may be Android or iPhone. And this is say Amazon website. This is Amazon mobile app. So in such a way, different types of companies, those who wants the payment transactions, payment logic, n number of companies developed by using different technologies. Remember that. It may be .NET, it may be by PHP, it may be by Java. Okay, so just assume it is by using Java, it is by using .NET, it is by using PHP, or it may be by using Android. Okay, it may be by using iPhone. In such a way, applications. Okay, they all want as a part of their business logic. As a part of their business logic, it is mandatory. Suppose if this logic is not available, okay, can a big basket can give services to different customers, those who are with different bank accounts? Is it possible?
No, sir.
No. So
Not possible.
the best example is available in the real world. Okay, right. So now how a Java application can consume this logic? How a .NET application consumes this web API, even though they are developed by using different technologies, how they are sharing this logic as a part of their application? That is the important point. See, this web API are developed, okay, by using some, whereas the consumers of this web API are developed by using different technology. How a X technology able to use a web API which is developed by using Y technology? How it is possible? See, the main thing is, the main important problem is, if a Java program expects, see, what is the main requirement of this website? Most important point, please try to understand this one. No need of any technical knowledge to solve this problem. Very easy. See, I want the payment transaction, that's all. Okay. So I want validation logic. See, I have taken the account details. Now, what is your requirement exactly? I want to know whether the account is valid or not. That's all. Right or wrong, all of you? I want to know whether the account is valid or not. Right or wrong? Hello?
Yes, yes.
Yes, sir, correct only.
Yes, it's valid.
So the point is, just send the account details to that logic, to that function. Send the account details to that function. That function executes and checks it, and it returns the result. That's all. So here, what exactly you need? The two things you need here: send and receive. That's all. Right? Send the account details to this function, and this function executes here. Okay, it checks whether with the given details account is valid, account is existed or not. If it is okay, it sends the result back. Now receive the result. So what is your primary aim? Not the logic. We want the results. Okay, the Krishna's account details are valid or not? You want to know. Okay, see. So send the data. Here the point is, you should know how to send the data to this function. Okay, you don't need that. You no need to have that logic. Okay, the point is, someone is giving service to you. That's all. Use the service of that person. Right. So to validate, see, this is a validation logic. Provide the details which are required for this validation logic. That's all. So here, as a developer, you should know how to send, how to call this function, or how to send the required details to this function. That's all. Right. That sending mechanism and receiving mechanism, See here, this validation logic is executed. Now it is giving the results. Know how to receive the data, because based on the receiving, based on the result only, you are going to proceed further. Later on, if the account is valid, then you proceed for transfer of funds. Right around. So means this validation logic validates and it returns the results. Now, as a developer, you should know how to send the data, okay, to this validation logic and how to receive the results which comes from this validation logic. That's all. If they are valid, then again send the data to transfer of funds logic. How much amount need to be transferred? To which account it need to be transferred? That is the thing. That is the next step. Suppose if they are invalid, then show the error message to the Krishna in the input in the payment page. Your account details are not valid. That's all. Right. So how to send and how to receive? Again, this is also a problem, because again this is not homogeneous. It is heterogeneous. This is by using one technology and this is by using one technology. Now how to solve this? So to send the data and to receive the data among these two technologies, we are following. See, these are all web applications, right, Ram? Right. So here, by using HTTP protocol and with the help of XML or some other formats, JSON, okay, we are exchanging the data between these two. Remember, that is the thing. Okay, see, I want to use service of a person, okay, who is not known to me. Okay, for example, you are a manager. Some person is there who performs the sales very excellently, right? But that person speaks a different language and you speaks a different language. How you can make that person as a member of your team? Simply think once. See, I don't want to lose that person's experience. He's an expert in sales. So then I will use some translator or I will use some common mechanism. Okay, using which I will convey what I require. That's all. See, talking to that person is not important for me. Sending my requirement is important. See, this is my product, sell this product. That's all. That is my requirement. My requirement need to be sent it to that person. Okay, which is understandable to that person. That person receives that information and understands it and performs what I require. That's all. And finally, he gives back the result. So you should be able to know how to communicate with. Yeah, it is like a translation logic. Yes, it is really true. At the beginner level, you need to understand in such a way. So it is, see, by following some mechanism here, you should be able to communicate with this web API, so that any application can share this logic, can consume this logic. Okay, what is that logic? See, the exchange of data especially, that is very important. Why this XML and JSON are selected? Suppose if you don't know about this XML and JSON, don't worry. These technologies never changes based on their users. XML is common in any technology. Okay, JSON is common in any technology. Remember that. Suppose if the data is in the form of XML, that is same in Java, that is same in .NET, that is same in PHP, that is in any other technology, it is same. So the JSON format data or XML format data, you no need to change. It is a common format among all the technologies. Remember that. And you are following a protocol called HTTP protocol to communicate with this one. So this is the requirement where the sharing of logic is required. Okay. Now coming to our question, the last point. Okay, today it came to 1 o'clock. By using which technology you are going to develop this web API? Now you are using Express. By using expressjs, we are going to develop a web API in the MERN. Okay. Next, the point is the most important point, everyone. All of you, my voice is audible. Hello?
Yes, audible.
Right, see, by using so many technologies, you can develop the web API. Okay, by using ASP.NET. Okay, by using Java. Okay, by using by using PHP, and by using so many technologies we can use, no problem. But the point is, this is not about the API here. Okay, API is okay, it is a common. But the most important point is this one, the server software. See, you developed the APIs and you deployed that APIs as a web application on the server software. This server software is predefined, right? I mean, the server softwares are provided by so many companies. Maybe it is IAS, Tomcat, WebLogic, WebSphere. That is the thing. Now, this server software provides the convenient environment to execute the web applications inside it. Right or wrong? Say yes or no? This server software provides a convenient environment to execute our web applications, whether they may be websites, okay, whether they may be server-side program, or it may be web API. Now the point is, instead of server softwares, see the most important point, instead of server softwares, we use to create a server software. To create a server software, we use nodejs. That is the point. So nodejs, a JavaScript program, is acting as a server. That is a main key point in our workshop. If you develop web API by using any other technology, okay, you use predefined softwares. Suppose I developed web API by using ASP.NET. Okay, I use .NET IAS server, okay, with the help of runtime engine called .NET Framework and with .NET CLR. So the IAS server provides convenient environment to execute my web API. The language related SDK and all, each and everything, the library, runtime engine, everything. Okay. Suppose if I developed web API by using Java, okay, generally I may use Tomcat server. The Tomcat server internally provides a convenient environment to execute the web API which are developed by using Java. Now you are creating a JavaScript program which acts as a server. So server software means it is not a joke. It is a responsibility of so many things. I have shown to you. See, if you open IAS, Internet Information Services Manager, here see, this many number of services it is providing. Right? So now all these options you need to provide through a JavaScript program. A program should take the responsibility of creating an environment where the web API are executed successfully. How it is possible? See, that is important. See, taking the responsibility means memory management, execution, okay, security issues, so many things. See, server responsibilities means it is not a joke. Remember that. So, writing a server program by using JavaScript with the help of nodejs. Right. In that server program, we are developing the API by using Express library. Now, that library, okay, consumes the database logic. So many. So here we developed the API which contains payment logic. But in the service-oriented architecture, SOA, what happens? Any type of logic, if you want to share among all the clients, okay, you can make that logic, you can develop that logic by using web API. Remember that. See here, which is along with payment. What is another common logic here? You can place an order, right? Placing an order by website and placing an order by Android and iPhone. Common logic, right, Ram?
Yes,
So
sir.
it means not only the payment logic. You want to share which logic? Order logic. Placing an order also another logic. So here just not only the payment logics. Okay, you want to develop, you want to share
Order logic also.
order logic also, right? Among multiple clients. Okay, where each client software is developed by using different technologies. So now, to make our web API logic available to all types of clients, okay, irrespective of the technology, you need to follow a common mechanism to exchange the data among these functions. Okay, simply say using a web API is nothing but calling a function which is running on server. That's all. Right, but some rules are there. So here we need to follow some other rules. Okay, REST web API. So REST principles are there. I will explain about the REST principles later. So in the next tomorrow we are going to see this nodejs, how nodejs is able to create a JavaScript program, okay, which behaves like a server. See, generally JavaScript is different. JavaScript is generally used to perform client-side executions. But now, once the node came, the behavior of JavaScript is totally became different. See, before Node.js, JavaScript is in one way. After Node.js, JavaScript is in one way. Okay, very drastic changes are there. Right. So JavaScript became equal to high-level language. One statement I want to say. After Node.js came, JavaScript became a high-level language, equal to high-level language. Remember that, right? So that is so. Tomorrow we are going to see developing a web API by using Node.js and expressjs, and that web API contains database logic related to insertion, deletions, and updations. Okay, of a database table which is on MongoDB. Okay, and we consumes that web API by using Postman. Tool. Okay, that is.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So that is so these are the basics, and without these basics, it is not possible to understand the web API. That is the important point. Okay, right.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.